Jason and Jabari. Jason and Jabari.
What's up, guys? This is Jason from the Jason and Jabari Gaming, and today we're going to do the recap of the Deathless run that I did. Starting off with, initially I took She-Hulk to rank 3. I think she's extremely solid, and I wanted her at rank 3 not only for this challenge but for moving forward. I play high tier war, and I think she's going to be good and very solid for battlegrounds, especially with some of the upcoming seasons. The next thing that I did was take a Guillotine to rank 2. I think she's extremely fun. I should have given her more of an opportunity, but I've been enjoying playing her for sure. Will I take her to rank 3? I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure, but I would consider it for sure after playing with her and utilizing her in such a manner that I think that she potentially can surprise some people. All right, so I did do the initial challenge you had to do in order to get Deathless Thanos. I'm not really going to cover that in this video. I didn't think it was that complicated. There are people that do cover that, but when I got Deathless Thanos, there was zero doubt in my mind he was going immediately to rank 3. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm taking him up to rank 3. So this is more like prep work. So I had Deathless King Groot at rank 2, Deathless She-Hulk at rank 3 now, Deathless Thanos at rank 3. Vision was already at rank 2 for one of the challenges that we had to do with him. So everybody is at least at rank 2 and rank 3. Make sure you guys have your relics on your champions. For the Guillotine, I put on the Ghost Rider relic, helps out with DGN. For She-Hulk, I put on the Hulk relic, helps with physical damage. For Vision, I put Vision because that makes sense. For let's see, Deathless King Groot, I put Gamora because it helps with his Furies. And who else am I missing? Let's see. No, that's everybody. That's 5, right? Oh, Thanos himself, the Mad Titan himself. I actually gave him I believe the what is her name, Miss Marvel. Yeah, I think I gave him Miss Marvel, or I gave him another Gamora. I can't quite remember, but here's the screenshot that I ended up finishing off the Grandmaster. I do a separate voiceover in this video covering the entire run, who I used, how many revives. I think I didn't do like a counter or anything. I did do this at work. So real quick, briefly, I'm going to go over what I got, what I used, and all of that stuff. So here's me claiming my rewards, duping Thanos, getting those 66 stones. And I chose Maestro, guys. Maestro was the choice. He is such an animal. He's such a beast. He's going to be so good for battlegrounds. I don't know why any of you would want to take the Titan, but hey, it's always your decision. I think Maestro is going to go to Sig 200 as soon as possible for me personally, because I value him and what he brings to the table as a defender. Thanos is going to Sig 200. That's just what it is. I had every intention of taking him straight to Sig 200. There is a side quest that you can do to get some more signature stones for Deathless champions. I didn't know that at this time, but I was happy to give him my generic 46 stones because you can get them to like 160 before anything. I gave him originally critical attack and block pin. I think I changed that to critical damage because he crits. I mean, he seemed to have been critting a decent amount. So there's that. As far as the other signature stones, You guys might be surprised, but yeah, Maestro got him, man. He yeah, I definitely started putting signature stones into him because it helps out with his block penetration and it ramps him up faster. And he's going to be a problem on safeguard. He also can offensively deal with weeks 1 and 2, or defensively as a as a problem. So his tri immunity helps out, or you won't be able to turn him off as far as with the shock or incinerate, because he's immune to both. So there's that, and he's poison immune. So he's pretty good in my opinion still. I know some people were quick to write him off, but I wasn't one of them. So there you go. There you saw his signature ability going up, and it will continue to do so. I think I have him at SIG 70 now. Can't wait to get him to SIG 200 personally. But anyway, here's the opening. I start off with the tier 6 CC, and then we open some 7-star crystals. I'm really looking for a dupe on, I think, Bullseye. I think I already got my other dupe that I was looking for, but yeah, it's Bullseye. So I had already got my Onslaught dupe, and I finally got my Bullseye dupe. So that's a huge win for me. I was over the moon when I got that. Finally, he's awakened. So I don't have too many of my rank 3s that are no longer awakened. I have 50 at the moment, so there are a few, but not too many. So anyway, that's going to do it for the talking portion. Notice the question of the day. In this section, we're going to be doing my other voiceover. Okay, what's up, guys? We are in the Necropolis, and I'm going to show you guys what path I chose, and pretty much my strategy. As far as my masteries is concerned, I changed it for Battlegrounds for the upcoming season. What I generally do is I get my mastery build for the victory track and I lock it in, and then I do the same with the gladiator circuit. Now I'm not going to do that this time with the gladiator circuit, simply because it's going to be 2 different metas. So I'm going to determine as the metas come up how I'm going to do my mastery setup. Now I had a generic setup. There was nothing special. I didn't do anything any differently than I normally do. 1 point in assassin, 3 out of 3 on inequity. I still even have 5 out of 5 in MD, but that's just like my normal mastery build. I'm not showing it right now because it's a different build for Battlegrounds. But anyway, I took the Titania path, and then I took the Guardian path. Okay, huge shout out to Truth Comments. He had already did a breakdown of basically who to take, and he was doing his run. I was at work doing this, and he finished before me, so I was referencing him a lot during my run. So huge shout out to Truth Comics. If you guys haven't subscribed to him, please go subscribe to him. Excellent guy, very knowledgeable, and we have recently done a discussion video on the Battlegrounds season that's upcoming, so I would encourage you guys to go check that video out. After you check this one out, I'll leave it at the end of this video. All right, so for Titania, I used She-Hulk. I did solo this fight. Oh, and real quick before I forget, you guys want to over prepare than not be prepared enough. So whatever that looks like for you as a player, definitely have enough revives and boosts before you go in. I don't care how many people say it was easy. If you know your struggle and you're just not good at this long form content, or you're prone to make a lot of different mistakes, it's okay. Just be over prepared. Definitely have plenty of revives, because it is a Necropolis run. You never know what's going to happen. Now, that being said, I did not use very many revives. I'm not really good at long form content either, but I do think that it would be in your best interest to have more than less, right? So I used Deathless She-Hulk here against Titania. I did solo this fight. Main thing is you want to keep up her torment buffs and your opponent throwing her specials, and they'll refresh themselves, and you can go up to like 100 or something like that, maybe more. I don't know, I've never come close to that. But she's going to hit ridiculously hard. It's going to be red numbers. The main thing you want to start doing is using your heavy against Titania, because that's going to stop her unstoppable. She'll still have her indestructible and her unstoppable, but it's going to stop her unblockable, is what I mean to say, if I didn't already say that. So you want to use that heavy as often as you can, and then you could play with her normally. Now you also can get a grit passive if you intercept, and that's going to ignore the unstoppable. So you have a way to deal with both of them through the Thanos synergy. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I did solo that fight. Moving on to Vision Arcus. I use guillotine here. I'll just do that, and you just basically want to spam special ones. It's going to nullify his power gain, and then she's going to put a neutralize on them as well. And she's going to be healing so much. Mine is a rank 2, and I stayed topped off. I accidentally messed up in the very end and died when he was like at 5%. I was very upset at myself, but this is a very soloable fight with guillotine 2099. And again, you just want to spam your special ones. Now initially on, I was baiting out his special ones, but then I started baiting out his special 2s, because she's going to heal a substantial amount from the chip damage, and you're going to stay topped off. So special 1, special 2, it doesn't really matter. Special 1, you're going to use up precious time, so I would encourage you just go for the special 2s and spam special 1s there. Now next up we have Omega Sentinel. I actually used Deathless Thanos. I thought he worked decently well. I did not solo this fight, and then I used King Groot to finish him off. Now if you know what you're doing, you can solo this fight with Deathless King Groot, or you can solo the fight with Deathless Thanos. I did not solo the fight. I think it took me 1 or 2 revives here. I think just 1, actually. Now I'm thinking about it, it just took 1, and I used Deathless King Groot, and I used Deathless Thanos, and then I think I finished it off with Deathless Thanos. But it wasn't a bad fight. Mainly you just want to keep her armor ups in check. I did do this the first day, so the reason why I probably didn't solo or finish it off with, actually more like finish it off with Deathless King Groot, is because his grit pass, or excuse me, his undermine was not working properly at this time. So it should have been working, but it wasn't, so that caused a few problems. But now it should be working, so you guys don't have to worry about that. Next up is Airwalker. I used Deathless She-Hulk here and got him down halfway, and then I finished him off with Deathless Guillotine. Both can solo this fight. I think if I was to go back, I probably would have used Deathless Guillotine, because she would have stayed topped off on her health. I would have got rid of his buffs and then put him on the neutralize, constantly knocking him down, which is what I was doing with Deathless She-Hulk. But I think we ended up dying because we got that. I think I accidentally dexed too much, which you don't want to really dex his special ones. You just kind of want to parry them and make sure you knock him down. Otherwise he'll get his Herald buff, he'll gain health, and then it'll be a bad time. But she was making him spam his specials. But I did not use any revives here. I just used Deathless Guillotine, or Deathless She-Hulk. I'm tired of saying Deathless. I used She-Hulk. And then I I use guillotine to finish him off, so no revives there. Moving on to Captain Britain. She was bugged. I think everybody I could use normally. So her reverse controls was not working, or the inverted controls, if you will. And I just used everybody here as a group effort. Now, Vision has where he's reverse controls immune, but the rest of the champions, as far as I'm aware, do not have that. But on this fight, again, I did this the first day, and that aspect of her was bugged, so I could use everybody normally. And yeah, I just used it, everybody to take her down. I did not use any revives here. Next up, we have Wiccan. I used Deathless She-Hulk. However, if you guys remember earlier, I said if you intercept, you get the grit passive, so you do not want to parry him. I made that mistake and I didn't get this solo. It took one revive because I used Deathless She-Hulk, and I would have soloed him very easily if I did not make that mistake of parrying him. And I was thinking parry him and use that as willpower healing, not thinking about intercepting, which I did, and I constantly was getting incinerated, which just slowly ticked me down, sadly. But it's a very soloable fight with Deathless She-Hulk. You're going to bait out a lot of specials. Definitely would encourage you to run Max Inequity if you already have it, because that shuts down healing, because she's going to place so many debuffs on him. Next up, we have Psycho Man. I used Thanos and King Groot here. I think it took one revive, if I'm not mistaken. I think one, and it was fine. It wasn't that bad between the two of them. They made it relatively easy. Moving on to Guardian here. I think I started off with Deathless King Groot and I died because the screen, it did something weird where it was completely blurry. You could barely see the characters, and I died, and then I went in with Thanos and it was the same thing. So I restarted my phone and then it was fine, but it was still like hazy looking, but you could at least see the characters clearly. Deathless Thanos does an amazing job here. So the thing about this is you're going to not want to end in the same type of 5-hit combo. So if you do a medium, light, 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 medium, then the next combo you need to do is a medium, light, 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 and then it'll switch it back, and then you can end in a medium. Or if you do like 3 hits or 4 hits, those don't count. So once you get the hang of doing that, that's going to be the path moving up into Nova. Now, I didn't say this, but I'm going to say this now. With Titania path, you get a tranquilize at a certain amount of potency every time you parry, and that stops you from doing select like debuffs or something like that, which wasn't too bad. This one isn't that bad either. I do think it took me about 3 revives here. I told you guys the first 2 why they happened. I could not see anything and I got killed. After those 2 deaths happened, I restarted my phone, and then I got him down a considerable amount of way, and then I finished him off. So yeah, about 3 revives there. Next up, we have Valkyrie. You want to use Vision here, and Vision doesn't hit very hard, guys. I think out of all the Deathless champions, he is the dud of the pack. I think everybody else is a W, but we're not going to get into that right now. But yeah, I didn't play. I mean, even with all the Furies that I was getting up with him, it just wasn't working very well. And this one, I think I used about 4 revives on. So yeah, but you want to use Vision here. And you want to be able to phase and then punish. And remember, you're going to have to keep track of when you end in a medium and then when you end in a light. Next up, we have Red Guardian. I used Deathless She-Hulk here, and I soloed. The main thing you want to do is crack his shield. It's like a hit counter that counts down. You want to use your special when he's basically at 1 hit counter to crack it so you don't get stunned. But definitely use Deathless She-Hulk here, and you should probably be able to get the solo. Of course, I know some people won't be able to, but I think she's your best option. But realistically, I mean, you can use anybody here. Use who you're comfortable with, and it's okay if you don't get solos, guys. It's completely fine. Next up was Sam. I used Deathless Thanos, and I got the solo. He wasn't that difficult. Just spam, let him do his special ones, and you're fine. Next up, we have Dragon Man. I used She-Hulk, and I got the solo. If he's power gaining, that could be used to your benefit, but if he hits you with his specials while power gaining, that power gain buff is going to go away. Continuously, him throwing specials is to your advantage with her, because she's going to ramp up and hit harder and harder. Next up is Cap IW. I got the solo with She-Hulk. Just keep in mind when you end in a light and when you end in a medium, bait out a special 1 or special 2, and she's going to ramp up. Next up is Nova. I use She-Hulk and got the solo. Biggest thing about him is his special 2 is a little tricky. So you might want to stick to baiting special 1s. But I know how to dex both his special 1 and special 2. So yeah, know how to do that, and sometimes he auto blocks, so be careful about that. And yeah, it shouldn't be too terrible. All right, and lastly was the Grandmaster. I used team revives here. I think maybe 3 team revives and maybe 5 singular revives. It wasn't a terrible time. I was pretty accustomed to fighting him from when we had to do all those Necropolis runs earlier. And by that, I mean the long one where you had to fight him again. I pretty much got it instilled in my brain still. So it wasn't as bad this time. So all in all, it was a very fun time. Huge W to Kabam for creating this challenge. It was refreshing. It was fun. It was unique. I definitely am going to give them their flowers on this particular event with the Deathless Champions. I do still think that even with everything they gave Vision, he's still a dud. I'm not going to lie about that. I think he is just not it, but that's okay if you like him. I know MSD really likes him, and that's super cool. I personally don't, and that's okay. We don't have to all like the same champions, right? I love Kang. Not everybody does. It's fine. I really do like Deathless Thanos. I think they did an amazing job with him. I think She-Hulk is amazing. She's at R3. Deathless King Groot, I've been a huge fan of. He's awesome. And so is Guillotine. I think she's awesome, you know. Yeah, that's honestly the recap of who I used. I'm going to do other clips with this of the opening and stuff, and yeah, that's the end of this talking section. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the other parts of this. Peace.